What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we are going to discuss one specific thing that could potentially lead to a World War III between two of the biggest countries in the entire world. We're also going to talk about how the United States government needs more money, why they need more money, and what they're going to do for this. We're also going to talk about chicken and our food supply. Again, there's a lot of stuff happening right now to our food, whether it's to chicken and meats, or it's to vegetables or fruits. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I want to address what's happening at this time. So again, if you have questions on any of this stuff, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. But let's get started. And first, I want to talk about Nancy Pelosi and her trip to Taiwan. Now, when you watch this video, it is going to be hours before Nancy Pelosi actually lands in Taiwan. The expectation is Nancy Pelosi is going to be landing in Taiwan sometime today. I bring this up because there are talks that her landing in Taiwan could potentially lead to World War III between the United States and China. I want to be very clear on something. Neither the United States nor China want to go into war with one another. Now, this wouldn't just be bad for our two countries, but it would be bad for the entire world. Now, we don't want to go into war with one another over Nancy Pelosi visiting Taiwan. But according to Chinese officials, Nancy Pelosi is not just some regular person, and she's also flying in on a U.S. military aircraft. So, it is not on unofficial business. It is for a purpose. Now, Nancy Pelosi is also the highest ranking American politician to visit Taiwan in at least the last 25 years. And China, they don't like this. Now, I don't want to scare anybody. I don't want to say that, really something big is going to happen from this. It could. Now, the United States government has said that they will support Nancy Pelosi's trip, and China has been warning the United States over the past, for a while, because Nancy Pelosi was supposed to make this trip, I believe, back in April. It had to be postponed due to COVID. But China has warned the United States that they will be responsible for anything that takes place. Now, here's what we know is happening before Nancy Pelosi's arrival. First off, this morning, Taiwan has been hit with multiple cyber attacks. This morning also, China suspended imports of more than 2,000 Taiwan food suppliers. Yesterday, a large number of PLA warplanes actually flew very close to the median line, which made Taiwan extremely nervous. Now, at this time, most expect that all that will be done is just going to be more military exercises, just to show their strength and show the people, hey, we got this, don't worry. That's really it. But keep in mind, there are still many talks that China could potentially shoot down Nancy Pelosi's plane. Now, I bring this up because I believe this is more of a scare tactic. Nothing more than that. Because shooting down a U.S. military plane that is potentially flying over the number 3 person to the presidency on board, that would not bode well with the United States. And this could lead to a war. If China were to do something like this, it would lead to actions from the United States, go back and forth. Eventually, the expectation would lead to a war. But just keep in mind that as of right now, that's not what we are seeing. What we're seeing is just China's warring the United States is warring China, and back and forth we go. So we're going to see what happens once Nancy Pelosi does land in Taiwan and once she gets on the plane and leaves. So as we know more there, I promise I will fill you in. Just keep in mind, this Nancy Pelosi landing in Taiwan does not mean we are going to war. So I've been getting a lot of questions on that, so I just wanted to answer that really quick. Now, obviously, if we do end up in a war, this is going to cause many problems for our economy. But there's also something else that's happening right now that is going to cause some issues to the U.S. economy. And that is the fact that the Treasury Department is now looking to borrow $445 billion for the current quarter. That is actually more than $262 billion more than what estimates were back in May. Now, federal officials are now saying that the Treasury Department is expecting to collect less taxes than originally forecast. And I want to address why. Right now, here's what's happening. There are still a lot of different people that are not paying what they need to the federal government. Okay, for instance, people that own student loans. The whole student loan department, right, is going to collect hundreds of billions of dollars less because of this payment pause, not collecting any interest, not collecting any payments for more than 2 years, and potentially seeing all this debt just completely forgiven. That's going to be huge. We also know that some people are not working. There's 10 million open positions, but there's only, 4 million people on unemployment? How does this really work? Where did all those people go? Right? We're also seeing our debt that we currently have is costing more money because the Federal Reserve keeps on raising rates. But one of the biggest issues here is that the Fed is attempting to reduce demand. But now the Treasury Department says that we need to come in, we need to borrow almost $45 billion for this quarter. But that's a huge problem. And it's difficult to reduce demand while at the same time allowing so much borrowing from the Federal Reserve, okay, or the Treasury. So this actually puts more upward pressure on inflation. It's not good, because here's one of the things that the price is being inflated quite a bit, and that is chicken. And I want to talk about chicken for a second, and want to talk about what this means to our wallets and our food supply. Because recently I read a report that showed more and more Americans are eating chicken compared to other meats. And this is mainly due to the price increase of things like beef and pork compared to chicken. Now, let me ask you this. How many of you eat chicken at least one time per week as your main source of protein, or eat it every single day? Now, I know for me personally, I have chicken at least every other day, whether it's for lunch or even for dinner. I usually have chicken, right? It's just cheaper. It's easier to get, less expensive, easy to cook. But here's something that I just want to bring up. What does this do to our wallets? Well, as of right now, we're saving money by, instead of buying beef and pork, we're buying chicken. Here's the problem. Prices are going to increase. Prices are already increasing for chicken. But what we are hearing is that chicken is only going to get more expensive as more Americans move away from eating out at restaurants and start cooking at home. Chicken also is going to get more expensive for both fresh and frozen. So, and I've talked about this in the past, that if you are constantly spending money or always eating out, consider buying frozen meats, frozen chicken, frozen vegetables, frozen fruits, because they will last longer. Because I know a lot of people will go and buy all this stuff, plan on cooking every single day for the week, and it just doesn't happen because obviously life gets in the way and they waste it. So one of the things I said is go and buy frozen chicken, frozen vegetables, frozen fruits, and thaw them out right before you need them. It's one of the easier ways to cook at home, and also it will actually stay around a little bit longer, will not go bad. So as of right now, here's what we're expecting. There's not going to be any way around these price increases. That's what we're going to see. But the increases we are seeing on chicken lately is actually less than what we're seeing elsewhere. This is why chicken is getting that kind of bad rap of, oh, it's going up in price so much. Well, not necessarily. The prices are actually going up. Everything's going up. Chicken's not going up as high, but the big thing is less and less stores are almost carrying what they need because more people are buying it. Okay? And stores do not want to buy meats and hold on to meat when they don't have the consumers coming in to actually buy it, and the demand isn't as high as they expected, because then obviously they lose money, they lose the product, and it goes bad. So just wanted to fill you in on that, because I know I've been getting a lot of questions on food. Are we seeing a shortage? We're not necessarily seeing a shortage in chicken at the moment. What we're seeing is grocery stores are not buying as much as they need for the demand of their local consumers, simply because they don't want to lose money. All right. So the supply, the local supply, is what's being impacted because of all the demand. But are we seeing a global food shortage from chicken at this moment? The answer is no. All right. So just wanted to fill you in on that really quick. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.